Annoying about the 18. Number 3, I'm going to answer the phone. Hello and thanks for coming by the channel today to check out my second video on my 2018 Crosstrek. Today I'm going to talk about 3 things. The first one I'm going to talk about is I'm going to make a correction to something I said in the review video that I did, the first video. It's linked below if you want to check that out. The second thing I'm going to talk about are 2 little things that I'm kind of finding are just a little bit annoying about the 18. And then the third thing, we're going to talk about a modification that I made to the car. In the review video that I did, I talked about there only being 1 USB port in the car. And as somebody pointed out that posted to the video, they said that they have 2 and they do have a limited. And they are indeed correct. There are 2 USB ports inside the console, one on top of each other. And I think kind of what I had in my head is that they're only in one location. And I did honestly not notice that there were 2 in there, but my whole kind of thought process was it's a little bit frustrating. There's none in the back and there's none kind of up front. Easy to fix though, like we talked about in the other videos, just buy one of the little cigarette lighter USB ports, plug it in, you've got one in the console and one in the front. So not a real big deal. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 things that are kind of bugging me a little bit about the 18. The first thing is the new vents that run along the side of the screen, the big 8-inch screen in the limited version. They're nice, they are bigger, they work great on the passenger side. The only issue that I'm kind of finding on the driver's side is the steering wheel and then your hand when it's on the wheel actually blocks the air from blowing on you. And when you're at it's 100, 105 here in Tucson, you actually kind of want to feel that air movement. The left side works fine, not a big deal. I'm just kind of finding that you just don't feel the AC as well in the 18 as you did in the 14. So this is kind of the perspective of when I'm driving. You can see my hand if I'm in this position, or even if I'm not. The vent is blocked partially by my hand. And you're sitting right here. So it's just a little bit of a weird, kind of a weird setup. I mean, this one over here is totally fine. This one on this side is totally fine. It's just, this guy is kind of blocked. So, yeah, I know, it's nitpicky, but just wanted to point that out. The second thing that's happened again today is I'm having some issues with Apple CarPlay. The first time it didn't work was, I think it was related to the fact that I got in the car, I started it, had the key in my pocket, and then went back in my house, left the car running, and came back. And of course, when I walked away from it, the proximity little noise was beeping. Got back in the car, it recognized the key fob again. I then plugged in my phone, and the Apple CarPlay icon would not show up. I was at the time driving, so I didn't stop and mess with it. I got to my destination, turned the car off, went and did what I had to do, came back to the car, and then it worked fine. So I was thinking that was the deal as I walked away from the car, and maybe the key fob being out of range confused it or something. This morning I left work, got in the car, same thing, would not recognize Apple CarPlay. I turned the car off and on, I walked away from the car with the key fob in, with the car off, then came back, turned the radio on and off, completely reset my phone, and I could not get Apple CarPlay to show up on the screen. And at this point, the only thing I can think of is last night I did the new update, which is 11.0.3, I think. I don't know if that's the issue. So here in a little bit, I'm actually gonna plug my Wi-Fi into the car and go to the settings and try to see if I can do some kind of update. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. So if you guys have had that issue, if you could comment below and let me know what you did to remedy it, or if you are having any other issues with yours, leave it below. I'm interested to hear what you guys are dealing with. So I just proved myself a liar, guys. I came out here and before I show you the clear bra, I wanted to show you that the Apple CarPlay is working, and I've done absolutely nothing but just plug my phone in. So there is some kind of weird intermittent problem with CarPlay. I'll have to have the dealer check it out and see if they have any ideas as to what that might be. So anyway, Apple CarPlay is working. Let me know if you're having any issues with yours. The final thing I wanted to talk about today, I actually want to show you here in a second. We'll go out there in the garage and check it out, is I had a clear bra put on. And for those of you who are new with Subaru, I just want to warn you up front. This is my third, my wife has our fourth, and the paint on Subarus is very thin. Either that or I have magical rocks in Arizona that chip the paint faster than any other place in the world. But I think if you have a brand new car, and especially if you're going to be riding off-road, my suggestion to you is to go ahead and spend the $8,000, $9,000, $1,000, whatever it may be, to get a clear bra put on. I think it's going to be worth it. This is the first time I've done it. I was going to do it with my last Crosstrek, and then I cursed myself for not, because I got pretty good paint chips on the front. To do the Crosstrek with the half hood, I think I paid around $765 at the specialist. So let's go out in the garage and I'll check it out. You can't really see much, but at least you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so I'm out here in the garage trying to get you a video of the clear bra. You really can't see it. I don't know if you can see this edge right here, but it comes up. That's where it goes, and you can see where the top of the hood is there, and then compared to the bottom, but it's just so faint, it's really difficult to see, especially in this color with the reflection. And then so it covers the entire front up to half of the hood, and they do the mirrors. And then actually, I don't know if this is standard on from all dealerships. In my dealership, this came on the car already. So, and they do the back one as well. But for $760 something, they did the whole entire front and the mirrors.